excited that young people all over, maybe the whole world, will learn about you and go out and start collecting cards and start collecting memorabilia. Thank you, Leonard, for coming on the show.
Bruce, you're quite welcome. You're the reason why that guys like myself do shows like this to educate and hope that young people totally come to understand what this game meant, what this game could do for them, and how they can monetize sports and sports collectibles in terms of their life, their genial history, and their legacy. In 1983, I get a phone call from a guy named Dwayne Parcells, and I don't find out they called him Bill Parcells until I get to New Jersey.
Wow.
So I get to New Jersey and I meet this guy, and he's got swagger. And I'm thinking, okay, here's a guy that I don't know. Okay, I'm a kid from Louisiana. It's black and white in Louisiana. Here's a guy who's got a little bit of a kind of a street sense to himself. He's coming at me with a different angle. He's coming at me, talking to me like a little bit of a wise guy, but not so much a wise ass. A very wise man in that Bill Parcells. We called him Hackensack Bill. I gave the nickname Dollar. I gave him the nickname Dollar Bill as a player because he knew how to get that money. He just knew how to get that money, and he knew how to get the most out of me. So when they bring me up here to interview me for the position, they bring me up here, I think late March, early April, and he tells me, we got a guy on the team named Gary Jeter. And I'm gonna be honest with you, I hate that son of a bitch, but I'm gonna do my best to get him out of here. And I'm like, Bill, come on, why don't you really tell me how you feel? He said, no. He goes, I was defensive coordinator in '82. He cost me a game against the 49ers. I had a hard time reaching him as a coach. I had a hard time working with him as a defensive coordinator. And I just felt like I could get a better guy to play that position. And I think you might be that guy. Okay, so if you're around and we draft, come the time, I'm going to take a real good look at you. He goes, I like what you've done at LSU. I like the people you work with at LSU. I like the fact that your team was so good and you consistently improved over the 3 years that you were a starter at LSU. He goes, I think you might be the guy to fit in the grand scheme of things or what I want to do here in New York. Wow. I said, Coach, you draft me, you bring me to New York. I'm going to tell you right now, I won't disappoint. Now, I got here my rookie year. They made fun of me my rookie year. They called me the fat kid from Louisiana. They put food in my locker, gumbo, jambalaya mix, all that kind of stuff. They made fun of me. But you know what? I knew in the end I'd have the last laugh. So in '83, I took it on the chin like a man. In '84, I came back. I was very resilient. I came back in '84. I led the New York Giants defensive line in quarterback sacks and tackles.
Wow.
We drafted another player to come along to play with me in '84, a kid by the name of Carl Banks, who's now, just a year younger than me. Carl and I bond, become brothers in the grand scheme of things. I help him as a player. He helps me as a player. We fit into everything that the Giants were doing. George Martin, Harry Carson, Jim Burt, Lawrence Taylor, so forth and so on.
Wow.
We go in my second year, we make the playoffs. We win a playoff game. So Bill Parcells went from 3-12-1, almost getting fired, to now winning a playoff game. In '85, we come back, team of vengeance. We lose in the first round of playoffs in '84, but in '85, we took that and we came back with a vengeance to become a better football team. We have a great draft. We drafted running back in the first round by the name of George Adams. But then we pick up a lot of defensive players along the way that kind of learned how to help us win a little bit. We make the playoffs. I'm NFL Defensive Lineman of the Year. I think I led the NFL in quarterback sacks for 15 weeks of the season. Wow. Just so happened the Bears had a guy on their team that could play too by the name of Richard Dent. He ended up winning the league. He ended up winning the most sacks in the league. He had 17 sacks the same season. So he beat me by a sack and a half, and they win the Super Bowl. The lesson we learned from the Chicago Bears in '85, when they whipped our ass in Chicago, we took that, put the chip on our shoulder, came back in '86, and we were the best team in football. We won the Super Bowl, convincingly won the Super Bowl. It wasn't even close. We beat the Broncos 39-20, but it wasn't even close. That team, Bruce, from 86 could have won 4 championships, I felt.
I
I
bet.
think it could have won in 87, 88, 89, and it did win in 90. And I think it kind of could have probably repeated in 91 had Bill Parcells stayed the coach. But the beauty of it was the career that I built with the Giants was built on the back of toughness, integrity, and real football players playing the game not for money, playing it to be great. The game now has become about money. Our game was about being great.